Hello and welcome to RustPromoter, where all games deserve a second chance. Today's game is one that over a decade ago I first tried on a demo disc released by PlayStation Magazine, but due to its limited release, I didn't get to fully play until just last month. That game is Echo Night Beyond, a survival horror game released on the PlayStation 2 in 2004 by From Software. That's right, the same company known for critically acclaimed games such as The Adventures of Cookies and Cream and a few other lesser-known games like Dark Souls and Bloodborne. The first Echo Night was released on the original PlayStation in 1998, but the sequel, Echo Night 2: The Lord of Nightmares, was only released in Japan. While technically the third game in the series, Echo Night Beyond is a standalone title and is connected to its predecessors only by theme and gameplay. Playing as Richard Osmond, you and your fiancée Claudia are on board a shuttle heading towards a newly built moon colony in the hopes that, upon arriving, you both will be wed. While making your final descent, an unknown force damages the ship and sends you into a crash course towards the space station. Awaking from the wreckage, you find the passengers dead and your soon-to-be wife missing. Equipped with your spacesuit and your trusty flashlight, your only option is to enter the ominously abandoned moon base in hopes of finding your dearly beloved and to solve the mystery of what had transpired there. The game attempts to ground the experience in realism as much as it can. No tutorials, no explanation of game mechanics or how they work, you're left to fend for yourself. Your journey is played through the first-person perspective via your space helmet. The only HUD you'll have is a heart rate monitor and a warning that goes off whenever the flashlight begins to die. In order for your flashlight to keep its juice, you must find battery packs spread out throughout the base. As you wander through the desolate space station, you will come across the spirits of the station's past inhabitants. These specters wander around lost in the fragments of their past, with something preventing them from moving on to the hereafter.
The amulet. I've lost it. A monster will...
Strange fog fills parts of the base, and the ghosts that are caught in it become aggressive and will rush towards you once encountered. If they get too close to you for too long, your heart rate will exceed critical condition, at which point, well, your frail little heart will stop. Luckily, to defend yourself against these horrid ghastlies, you're equipped with a supernatural camera that will allow you to seal the souls within... That doesn't sound right, hold on. Okay, so you actually have a high-powered vacuum cleaner to suck the spirits out. Dang it, that's not right either. I got my notes mixed up. Okay, so there's no actual real way to defend yourself, other than avoiding the rabid ghosties altogether. Since they're invisible for the most part, you can enter monitor rooms, which will allow you to watch the path the ghosts are following and wait for your chance to sneak by. You can also use ventilation systems that will allow you to remove the fog from the area and will then pacify the ghost. Speaking with these spirits will uncover their stories, as well as offer you clues on what is hindering them from moving on. These usually involve an item of some sort that held importance to them in their past life. Returning these objects to them will give them the peace that they seek, and in turn cause them to explode into a glorious flood of light.
Being a god is not easy.
Finding the right items to use may require thought and understanding of each character's situation, and others, well, not so much.
I can't go to sleep. Isn't there anything to drink?
Another way of finding clues on the whereabouts of these items are through hidden recordings found in the monitor rooms. Looking through the security cameras, players can find special markings that will cause flashbacks, allowing you to piece together the game's story and give you hints on how to progress.
Sorry! I told you that if those two things get mixed together, they'll generate high heat. Be careful!
While I enjoyed seeing the variety of locations in the game, the items you're trying to collect are in no way outlined, making them difficult to spot in dark environments. This results in you meticulously looking in every drawer and under every table, worried that you'll miss some essential item that would hinder your progress. I appreciate the game's dedication to realism, but this could have been easily remedied by some classic Resident Evil style twinkles. Where this game really shines is in its atmosphere. Playing everything through the perspective of your spacesuit is immersive and leaves you feeling claustrophobic and isolated. Environmental effects such as thick hanging fog and great use of the flashlight's shadow play really sells the experience of being thousands of miles above the Earth. Capping it off is the game's use of minimal sound design. Richard's shallow breathing, his weighty footsteps, and the overall use of silence as icing on the atmospheric cake. I found the overall experience to be tense, but somewhat calming. When I wasn't being chased by needy ghost children, it became almost serene as I explored the quiet and derelict world I was moving through. With the lack of combat and gameplay being little more than fetch quests, many players will be turned off to Echo Knight. If you're expecting an edge-of-your-seat pants-wetting experience, then you may want to look elsewhere. This game is a slow-paced adventure game through and through, and I mean slow. There are genuinely spooky and clever moments, especially when in conflict with an enraged ghost, but majority of your time will be spent searching for items, solving a handful of puzzles, and discovering the characters' backstories.
Carol, are you happy being with me?
Why? I am happy with you.
It's hard to recommend a game that has been executed in far better form in more modern games, especially considering how rare this game is. But I did enjoy my time playing Echo Knight Beyond. It wasn't the terrifying or exciting thriller that I thought it was going to be back when I played the demo over a decade ago, but the game accomplishes what it sets out to do. It provides you an atmosphere-rich, story-focused experience. The controls are tight, the graphics have held up well over the test of time, and the story is worth uncovering. The most surprising part about Echo Knight is the similarities it shares to newer From Software games like Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Obviously the gameplay is a bit different, but aesthetically there are a lot of resemblances. The use of the environment to tell a fragmented story and the overall sense of mystery is a very prevalent concept in the majority of From Software games. To me, there is also an overarching sense of mood that these games display in their quiet moments. I just find it cool that there seems to be a bit of signature to From Software games, even in ones as old as Echo Knight. Now, I wouldn't recommend buying it for the $70+ it is currently running, but if you can find another way to play it, you may want to give it a try, even if it is just to soak up some interstellar ambience. While it is unlikely that we will ever see a new Echo Knight game, during their last E3 press conference, From Software announced Deracine, an upcoming PlayStation VR game about an invisible fairy that sets out to prove its existence by bonding with students at a boarding school. The game will be heavily story-focused and apparently will tackle some complex themes like life, death, and time. The game seems to resemble Echo Knight in a multitude of different ways, and I'm excited to see From Software going back to their venture game roots. Thank you for watching my first video. Let me know how I did in the comments below, and also let me know what games you would like to see next on RustPromoter.